Hey, this is Luke with Total3Dprinting.org, and today we're going to talk about SolidWorks and 3D printing. My background is engineering. I spend all day, every day in SolidWorks. I've even taught SolidWorks. I've used it for a number of applications, including something like this, where we're looking to 3D print prototypes of this pocket knife. So what is SolidWorks? It's a powerful engineering CAD platform. It's really the industry standard in several large industries, especially machine design. It's parametrically driven, so think lots of numbers, lots of geometric relations. Does this make it a good tool for 3D printing? Yes and no. It's a great, fantastic design tool, and I think a lot of users would agree with me there, but there's nothing specific about SolidWorks that makes it great for 3D printing. There's not like a slicing software built in or anything like that. So my 2 cents, even as someone who really likes SolidWorks, is that if you have access to SolidWorks, absolutely use it for 3D printing. If you do not have access to SolidWorks or have a license of SolidWorks, don't go out and buy it. There are CAD platforms that are a whole lot cheaper that'll get you to your 3D prints. Now, if you do have SolidWorks, what are some best uses for 3D prints? Well, I'd say there's nothing that much different about 3D printing to machine design to conceptual design. Model your parts, put them into an assembly, see how they're working together, and then when it comes time to print them out, put things together and see how it all works. Next, we're going to take a look at some how-to tips to make you hopefully a little bit more proficient in SolidWorks. Alright, I've got 5 quick SolidWorks tips here. The first one is design intent. When I taught SolidWorks, this was the biggest thing I tried to drive into people's head. And this is really universal amongst a lot of CAD software, is how are you going to go about modeling this piece? What's going to be your first shape? Keep that simple. How are the features going to stack up from there? Where is the origin going to be? How are the planes going to line up with the part? What's the orientation of the part? Onward and so forth. Making dimensions easy to find and edit. Design intent is huge. Keep it in mind. This is really how you, the designer, are using the software to design what you're trying to design. My second tip is to keep your model organized. Over here in the feature tree, go ahead and rename features either by a slow double left click or by a single left click and then the F2 button. You can organize features into folders, and of course you can reorder features in the feature tree. All these things will help you find features, which is particularly helpful when you go back and edit things. My third tip is to keep features as simple as possible. Here, we've got a lot going on, but I started out with just a basic shape. We just have curves, no fillets, no holes, no slots. Nothing else is done in this first sketch other than the basic shape. That keeps things organized, keeps things simple, and easy to edit down the road. My fourth tip is to, as much as you can, fully define especially sketches and features. Over here in my feature tree, I've got this first sketch that is underdefined. You can see that by the minus sign. So I'm going to go ahead and edit it. Anything that's blue means that it's not fully constrained, it's underdefined. And what I can do is click and drag, and you'll notice, based on that movement, what needs to be added. So in this case, I need to add a width dimension there, that down to 1, and that minus sign's gone away. It's fully defined, fully constrained. It's not going to get accidentally edited, and that way when you go back and say you need to change this 1 to something else, you have a starting point and you have an ending point. It's numerically driven. My fifth tip is to make SolidWorks work for you with shortcuts and mouse gestures. Start with mouse gestures. If you've ever noticed this weird dial pull up, what that is when you hold down your right mouse button and move ever so slightly. This is just a quick shortcut bar. Now I can go into my customization here, and I can define those mouse gestures by dragging commands onto different wheels. I can also set any key or combination of keys as different commands. Now you can have a lot of fun with your buddies that also run SolidWorks with this, but this can also be a great time saver when you use commands often. Alright, to wrap up, I've got a bonus tip for you specifically for 3D printing. What I'm going to do is add some text here. Now why is that important, or why can that be helpful? Well, if you've got multiple revisions or multiple sizes of the same 3D print, it can be really helpful to differentiate between different iterations when they're in your hand. So I need to start with a center line here, and then I can just go up to my text tool, we'll drive it by that curve and say, hey, this is revision 2. I need to flip that on over and the other way. And then you can define your document font here as well. And then, just like any other feature, you can make that, say, a boss extrude, and that will go ahead and print out on your printer. We're going to wrap it up there before I get carried away with SolidWorks. Hope this video has been helpful. You've either learned something to be more productive in SolidWorks, especially in the context of 3D printing, or you just decided that you don't need it. Either way, take care. Thanks for watching.